Welcome to the Daily Spark. I'm Emily Reynolds. The art scene in Brockton and the Bridgewaters has been evolving over the last several years and has begun to incorporate a broader range of media and artists. Joining me in the studio is Spark reporter Eamon Convey there on the end. And to talk about their work and the state of local arts, to my left, Duken Delpe and Gigi Crane. So again, here for this hour, we're talking about local arts. So Brockton and the Bridgewaters, huge local art scene, so much going on, so many new artists and interesting new art scene. So in the studio with us, we have Duken Delpe here to my left and Gigi Crane. Yes. And we're just going to dive right in and start to kind of get into a little bit of your backgrounds first. So Duken, if we can start with you, just want to know, growing up, what was your, what kind of got you into the art scene? What made you want to become an artist?
Okay, 20 years ago, so it's not too far, believe me. 20 years ago, so I was with a friend at his studio, and he told me, you should start painting. You should start doing art.
And so you grew up in Haiti, right?
Yes.
And so was this in Haiti, or was this once you had come here?
Yeah, it was in Haiti.
Okay.
Yeah, in Haiti. And from there, I took a brush and I went straight dive in and start doing artworks.
So the first time you tried it, you fell in love with it?
Yes, I was in love with it before, and that's why he told me you should do it, because he was an artist, and I used to visit his studio regularly, and he said, you should do art, because when he asked me a question about what he's doing, my interpretation was very interesting for him. So, and I started painting since then.
Did you have any formal training, or was it all kind of, did you teach yourself?
Yeah, I'm self-taught. I study a lot of American art, contemporary art. That's my favorite. And I just study others, and the internet. I study a lot from there too, and that's it.
It's amazing what's out there now, and there's a million new ways to learn, and
YouTube,
you can be connected to everybody.
Yes.
A wealth of knowledge right at your fingertips.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is a reason why I have a series on technology, the impact of technology, how you can be taught how to do a lot of things.
For me, anyway.
But for me, it's a question of expression. When I was growing up, I didn't know I was going to be an artist. As a matter of fact, it wasn't a real option.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like...
the culture thing,
yes,
right?
because when I came to the U.S., even when I was growing up in Haiti, when I went to college back in Haiti, I studied chemistry. I came here in the U.S. I went to UMass Lowell. I studied chemical engineering. I worked in biopharmaceutical for 3 years. But during those 3 years, I was working in research and development. So the thought process, the scientific methods you use to bring solution to certain problems. And I said, okay, but at the same time, I was always doing art as a hobby. And then I start using the methods, like the techniques or like the way of thinking as a scientist to solve problem. I do the same thing as I'm doing art. So that's why my work, people will say, okay, so you have like 10 series of work, they all look different, and it's the same subject, but you can approach it so many different ways. It's by training, because I was trained to do research for 3 years. I worked in research for 3 years, so that's the same thing for art. But art is so for the method, it's the same thing for the methods. But art, like when I was in engineering school, it was all about math, physics, chemistry, right? And before those exams, it's a lot of stress. So, and I would go to the art department and in the art gallery, sit in front of some artwork. And after that, all the stress are gone.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's a way of,
therapy.
yes. So art is saved my life, I can say.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how it works for me.
You work with a lot of different media, you're not specific to painting anymore. Do you have a favorite, or is there one that you kind of keep coming back to? Or are you always discovering a new way to express your artistic self?
Oh, okay. So I love metal.
Okay.
But I love sheet of metals. So now I use a lot of recycled aluminum cans. But it's all about what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if I'm doing a subject about the impact of technology in our life. So I want to put something in that is really connected with technology. Like, for example, I'll open a laptop and I'll take the motherboard and I'll try to draw a face with a motherboard.
Wow.
It's also based on my origin, I think, because when I was growing up, I grew up as a Christian, but I used to see certain voodoo materials, like somebody like even in the stories they will tell. Because I was Christian, I wouldn't go to places that has voodoo ceremonies, but they will tell you, okay, somebody can take your shirt and make something out of it. They can take your belt, or they can take your hair or something. So my artwork now, if I'm doing something about technology, I'll take a real computer and break it apart and incorporate it into my artwork. So those are the things. Like when I do faces now, I try to go underneath the skin. So if I'm making a portrait, I'll leave the nose, the eyes, and the lips, but the skin will be removed, and you will see some like structure that is kind of like underneath the skin, like them cells and so forth. So I'm having fun, and
Absolutely.
and it's great.
And
Yes.
adapting and finding new materials.
Yes, I
So
love.
I wonder about your process, Gigi. You know, when you either record a mixtape, or even if it's on the marketing and social side, what sort of process do you go through when you start creating your art?
It's depending on how I feel. So being an artist is feeling for me because, it's my therapy. So it's depending on if I'm happy, sad, whatever. It's how I express myself. So the process, writing for me, poetry, I can do poetry, but sometimes with the music aspect, sometimes I hear a sound, a beat, and it's just an automatic, like I can get a hook in right away. And that's how it works for me.
Wow.
Like if I hear a beat or an instrumental and I can't like come up with an automatic like hook or a chorus right away, I'm like, I don't want it. Next one.
So does the music usually come first, or do the words come first?
It depends. Sometimes I can be like in my sleep and I have lyrics just coming in, or sometimes like I'm in the studio and I hear instrumental and I'm like, wait, hold on, I have a hook right now. And then my partner, he's just like, all right, put it on the table.
Awesome.
And it comes right away.
Yep.
So that's when I started learning, and I just recently learned this. Anything forced doesn't work for me. And as an artist, I learned anything forced will not work for me. So when I thought too much about a song, or I stressed too much about writing it, or I'm like, I'm lazy right now, let me just sloppy up this verse real quick, and I would record the verse and then go home, call my partner like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
How many times you gonna re-record it? I don't like it. So then I started molding myself. Like, okay, so this process is annoying to me. So let me get it right this time.
Yep.
So as an artist, you always have to keep like training yourself on a daily basis. You have to ask yourself, how bad do you want this? How bad are you willing to invest in yourself?
Yeah.
Are you willing to invest in yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't invest in yourself, how do you expect anybody else to do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things of putting your work as priority and kind of like putting everything else on hold. And
Yeah.
do you have determination to do that?
Yeah.
And right now with, the business and the building and the studio and me trying to release the mixtape and then the photography and the video, the art doesn't stop.
Right.
Nope.
Creative control just has me all over the place. I'm like, I can, rap. Oh, I like video production. Let me get into that. Oh, photography. I do video. I might as well get into photography.
Yep.
Let's do that. So it doesn't stop with me. So it's like to balance these things. Which one is priority? When do I stop?
Yeah.
do I
you?
stop?
Yeah, exactly.
And which one means the most to me. So it's a lot of digging in, and you're growing all the time.
Absolutely.
And as you grow, you as an artist, you're different. I sound different from 2 years ago. Sometimes I hear my old music, I'm like, I don't even sound like that anymore. And they're like, you don't want to drop that record? No, I don't sound like that.
No.
Because you
You're
evolve.
growing, exactly, and changing, and it sounds like a lot of your life experience kind of plays
It
in. so
ties
it
into
changes.
that.
Yep.
And then it's like, do you even want to talk about it?
Yeah, that's true too.
Right.
What do you want to make public? And,
Right.
Yep. Just as a quick reminder, you're listening and watching the Daily Spark here on the Spark News Network. So, Duken, can you start kind of bringing us back towards Brockton, where the Brockton art scene, it is changing. It seems like it's up and coming a lot more in the last even year than it has been in the past. What are you seeing kind of come into Brockton, and what's missing? What does Brockton need to keep the art scene moving forward?
Okay, so there's, like you said, a vibe, an energy in the art scene in Brockton, and there is some power behind it. And those power behind it, like for example, you have Arnie Danielson. He has been with it way at the beginning.
Yep.
Shout out to Arnie.
Yes, yes. Arnie is the man. And so he's the one who introduced me to art in Brockton. He said, oh, okay. I met him through a friend, and he tells me, and okay, let's do this, let's do that, and so forth. So this is a great scene right now. But what is happening at the same time is we kind of miss the exposures, like from the news or so forth. Like, for example, I was telling a friend, like, okay, it's always like, okay, what is negative about Brockton is either a crime or a shooting and so
the
forth.
hood, it's
And at the
ghetto.
same time, something happened, right? And you have like you're having a neighborhood park celebration. You're having Stacey Haddam having a very big opening. You won't see it on the front page.
Nope.
So, which is sad, but I think we will get to a point where they can ignore us anymore,
Right.
Because it is happening
Yep.
pretty
That's the
well.
You will see it
Yes.
in the Spark. That's
Yes.
why we're
No,
here.
The Spark
to-
is with us.
That's exactly why we're here
Yes,
today.
the goal.
to bring some
Yes.
of this. There's so much out there. There's so much going on in Brockton and the Bridgewaters, and just it's everywhere you go. There's it seems like it's had to be too much underground. It's sort of like everyone has to kind of meet each other by accident and make some connections slowly.
Yeah.
But if it could all come together
Unity.
as exactly, and
Yeah.
and I think that's what you're trying to do with the Stacey Adams
Yes.
building. Tell us a little bit more about the building, what's there, what people can find.
Okay, so the Stacey Adams building was just actually purchased about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer. It was a very broken down, abandoned building, kind of, sort of ish. So I was there prior to them, Howard and Steve, purchasing it. Thank you, Howard and Steve, for purchasing
Really
it.
good guys.
Thank you. They came in. It was torn down. Bathrooms. There was just one bathroom. Now there's one for the men, one for the women. Thank you.
It's the little things.
The little things.
Every single floor, yeah.
Yeah, the floors. We didn't have hardwood floors. There were wires coming out the ceilings. It's horrible. But they came in, renovated everything. The studios, just made it beautiful.
Yep.
And Arnie is also
Yes.
he has his studio there at the Stacey Adams building.
And the
Logo-
gallery also, right?
Gallery, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just helped us tremendously with everything in terms of making it beautiful, bringing paintings there that look like the community, looks like us. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
yes.
we don't see things like that. And for us to come together, we had a grand opening August 26th, I believe.
Right around that.
Yeah. So, which You were there.
I was.
You were there.
It was a great time.
Yes.
What can people find there? Is it a gallery, and then I
So-
believe there's workshops too, right?
Yes. So there are individual studios
Okay.
there. So if anyone is looking for a studio, we're actually currently looking for tenants at this present time.
So you can rent a space that you
Yes.
can work in.
Yes.
Okay.
So for artists.
Okay.
So from video production
Yeah.
to art to dance studios to we're actually open to anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know,
That's really
anything
great.
business, anything
Yeah.
that's, trying to make something in the community, we're open to. We're not knocking anyone's hustle down. So
And you and the Stacey Adams Culture Building, I mean, when Gigi says that, it's not just talk. I mean, already in the building, you have a ton of various artists. I mean, there's pole fitness, there's a kids dance studio.
yes.
D-Bam Festival this year was actually with the kind of conjoined with the opening for the Stacey Adams Cultural Building. And if you guys are just looking for something to do on a Friday or Saturday night even, or during the week, you can make an appointment to come see
Yeah,
people, or you can just show up and walk around. Doors are open and people are super friendly.
Come get
and
your pole fitness on. Come get your dance on.
Exactly.
Come
Paint something, take a photo, record
anything.
something, it
Record
all
something at
rhymes.
my studio. All rhymes. I'll take some pictures. Get you in the booth. You could drop some bars if you have any. You can sing. Anything.
If you just purchase an apartment, you need original paintings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You can do that. And here's the
Right.
funny thing with art is a lot of time art serve as an investment.
Yes.
And people doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
Like for
And
example,
there's
me.
beautiful paintings.
Oh yes, like you can go visit an artist in a studio. At the same price you would buy a cheap poster. You buy an original artwork.
Absolutely.
not-
You will
worth
wake up
it,
maybe 10
know?
years or 5 years from now, and if the artist become very well known, and you have a priceless piece at home.
Right.
Yeah.
So at Stacey Adams, they have the Brockton Arts, where Arnie has a gallery there. Come visit us.
And it's a big studio, beautiful paintings everywhere.
Yep.
So
Yes.
definitely, and they're for sale too. So
Good.
definitely
Yeah.
come.
And then you're
through.
investing in the community too.
Yes.
It's
Right.
Yes.
and Duken, you had an exhibit at the Fullercraft Museum and then one at the Enzo Flats, right?
No, what I had at the Fuller Craft was a piece I did for the music festival.
Oh, okay.
It's a big
The
piece
Indie
I did,
Fest?
yeah, for the
Okay.
Indie Fest.
Excellent.
And I had a show, like you said, at the Enzo Gallery.
Yes.
And I have a permanent show in Boston in the South End where I have a studio. So this weekend I had Friday, it was open Saturday and Sunday. A lot of people, like hundreds and hundreds of people come visit my space. So
Nice.
there's a lot going on, and we'll see. We'll
So
see.
locations, hours where your work is held, if people want to go and see it, how would they do?
Oh, okay. So for the South End, every first Friday of the month, we have open studio. All the studios are open, and you can get hors d'oeuvres, cheese, wine for free. And
Free is good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. You
Free
will
is
get
good.
Especially for
yes.
artists.
So it's 450 Harrison Ave, and my studio is Studio 310.
Studio 310.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
and
in Boston.
It's at the Ink Block buildings,
Yes,
correct?
Ink
If
Block
those of you
building.
who have seen those off of the highway. And Gigi, also, what about you? All Rhymes and also Red Diamond, if they have something locally here?
Okay, so All Rhyme Studios is located in the Stacey Adams building. How about that? Did you know that?
Where is the Stacey Adams building? 'Cause I don't
That's
think we've said that yet.
33 Dover Street. That's right in Brockton.
Right
And
between Warren and Main Street,
Street.
right? Warren Ave and Main Street. It's a big
Walking
white building.
distance.
Big, huge
Yeah.
building.
with flags on it.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
a bunch of
all
cultural
different
flags out
Yes.
front.
types of
So I call
flags.
it the United Nation of Brockton.
Nice.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's so gorgeous. The parking lot was just redone.
Yeah.
The place is so,
Yes.
for me, it's like the jewel of the town.
Yes.
Of town.
So nice.
You know,
It's a gorgeous
So
place.
it's-
And gorgeous people inside, too.
Yes.
Yes,
Just
we
top
have
to bottom.
security, surveillance, and
Yeah.
2 parking lots for you guys.
Yeah. It's not
Full
going back to
space.
the way it used to be, that's for sure. Not with
No.
Steve and Howard at the helm.
No, they're doing their thing, making sure that it's pretty and flowing.
Yes.
So,
and very safe.
very
I-
safe.
Yeah, very safe. 24-hour securities.
Yes.
We have cameras everywhere
Yes.
in the Stacey Adams building. So
Yes.
it's the place to come in the South Shore.
Yes.
You know.
Is there a schedule for the classes and the workshops and things that go on?
Yeah, so so we have so many different studios in there, so you guys would just have to like come in. So the hours are from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. So very flexible.
If you're a night owl,
If
then
you're
yeah.
awake, they're open.
If you have nothing to do. No, come definitely and see everything, because there's available classes and they have deals. So definitely come and view. And we're actually working right now for bands to have a place to rehearse.
Excellent. That's so needed here.
Yeah, hourly rates.
Yeah.
So that's real big here in this
Yeah,
community,
absolutely.
because you know they're very loud, so
Yeah.
no one
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to partake in,
Yep.
in that mess. So we want to be able to give the community, a space to have artists do their
Yes.
thing, and that's the purpose of the Stacey Adams Building, and also Arts Week. That's an event that the Stacey Adams Building is going to be part of, and that's going to be October 8th. So we're going to be doing another open studios, I believe, from 1 to 12, I believe. It's going to be
Okay.
separated.
Okay.
We're going to have another hip-hop show, I believe, from 5 p.m. to 8. But don't quote me, because we're still figuring out
Yeah.
some details.
Do you have a Facebook page or a website? where
Yeah,
people can
so
go?
I'm definitely going to post more information on the Facebook page, which is the Stacey Adams Cab
Okay.
on Facebook, and also Stacey Adams Cab on Instagram and Twitter. So
A small congratulations is in order to you as well. You are have been recently named the new marketing director and social media
I
coordinator of Stacey
started
Adams.
like 2 weeks ago. So
Okay,
you
good.
know, I'm doing my thing because I've been holding this building down for so long
Yeah.
before they even bought it. So it's just only right. That's my baby. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. If you guys need to contact me with any information regarding the studio, you can email me as well. The email address is thestaceyadamscab@gmail.com. So that's regarding any questions with studio rental space and information regarding the Art Week's dates and times and hip hop showcasing. Whatever you need, I got. Just let me know.
That's awesome. So just to kind of wrap up, we're already almost out of time. I can't believe that.
Right.
But,
We'll have to have you guys back for a part two.
Right.
Definitely. We'll have to keep checking in with you as
Yes.
you continue to grow. But just some advice. What advice would you give to young students who are maybe high school students or even younger, starting to get into the arts? Maybe, I mean, it's a tough world. It's hard to keep yourself motivated, like you were saying before. What advice do you have for them?
Okay, my advice is be yourself. Like, everyone is forcing you to be someone else, be like them, do this, my rules, my this. Be you. It's very important as an artist to be you, because that's what makes us different in expressing ourselves, to be an individual. So if anything, if you want to hear anything from me or learn anything from today, is to be yourself.
Good. So my suggestion is keep working on your craft. Okay. If you have it with you every day, you will be better at it as you go along. And if you are good at it, you will be noticed, and you will win prizes. You will have fun, and you will make it. Stay true to your art. That's it.
Yeah.
Great words from
Fantastic.
both of you guys.
Excellent. So Duken Delpe and Gigi Crane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.